Thanks for joining us for 5 on 5. I'm Joe Sullivan, pleased to be joined by Senator Merkley. Senator, thanks for taking time from Washington, D.C.
You're welcome. It's very good to be with you.
You posted on social media 3 days ago, quote, "Another Republican president has taken us into another Middle East war," end quote. Given the apparent success of the targeted bombing, do you still feel that way?
Well, certainly the president should have exercised the constitutional responsibility to have asked for an authorization for the use of military force. But I can tell you, I spent last weekend saying we need to have an immediate ceasefire in order to break the escalation that could lead us to a lengthy and much broader war. And so I am pleased that President Trump did in fact pursue such a ceasefire and that it seems to be holding.
The House passed what President Trump refers to as one big, beautiful bill. Where are we right now in the Senate with this bill?
Well, right now it's going through what we call the birdbath process, where policy that is not supposed to be in a reconciliation bill is being taken out. One of the things I'm very happy to have gotten taken out was the sale of public lands. The idea of selling 250 million acres of public lands to finance tax breaks for billionaires like Elon Musk, horrific idea. We do understand the Republicans may be coming back with another version of that, so the battle's not completely over. But this entire bill, it is a big, beautiful betrayal because it basically is families lose and billionaires win. 16 million people losing health care for tax breaks for billionaires. 4 million children going hungry for tax breaks for billionaires. Well, this is not the mission that we should be on. The mission we should be on is not families lose and billionaires win, but it should be the mission of families thrive and billionaires pay their fair share.
When do you think this bill gets past the Senate into the president's desk?
Well, right now we anticipate that the 20 hours of debate is going to start sometime Friday. If no time's yielded back, then we'll go into Saturday. If time is yielded back, we'll probably start the amendment process Friday evening and maybe go on into Saturday morning.
Recently, the Senate passed the Secure Rural Schools Reauthorization Act. It now moves to the House. Could you talk about how important this is?
Oh, this is so important. For example, with Jackson County, you are talking about only getting 8% under a timber sale share as compared to secure rural schools in 2024. So it is a very big deal. And we're delighted that the Senate passed it unanimously. And now it's in the hands of the leadership in the House. And so far, they're refusing to act on it. So I really hope that Cliff Bentz and our colleagues in the House will be able to get that bill considered and passed.
Why do you think they're refusing to act on this bill right now?
Well, it's the House side, so probably better for our House members to answer that. But my impression is they're don't have enough folks who come from forest country to understand how important this is. Well, we certainly have that challenge in the Senate as well. This bill primarily benefits a group of Western states that have large forests that are on public lands, and the rest, we have to convince the rest of the Senate that just as we help them with their state's challenges, they need to help us with this. And that same conversation needs to take place in the House.
Well, I'm talking to Congressman Bentz tomorrow, so I'll be sure to ask him that question. We'll take a quick break and be right back with part 2 of our 5 on 5 with Senator Merkley. Welcome back to part 2 of our 5 on 5 with Senator Merkley. I'm Joe Sullivan. Recently, President Trump issued an executive order to consolidate wildland firefighting efforts. What are your thoughts on the timing of this?
Well, it has not been properly planned. In an earlier hearing, I encouraged the Secretary of Interior to pursue a draft, get us a draft. Let's get the experts in, let's analyze this, and let's not mess up anything in terms of this current fire season. This is not the right moment to be trying to change how we fight fires. We're already in fire season right now with having had 3 significant fires in Oregon in the last 2 weeks, and of course, one in Jackson County. This is very concerning to me. It speaks of failure to do folks' homework and plan carefully and on something as important as having the best response to the fires in Oregon and across the country. You don't want to mess it up.
You touched on this a little bit earlier. How concerned are you about any plan to sell off public lands?
Oh, I absolutely hate the idea of selling off public lands. The idea that the Republicans came up is, hey, we'll sell about 0.5% of our public lands across the West to help finance tax breaks for billionaires. It's hard for me to imagine anyone in Oregon wanting to support that. And think of all of our fishermen and our hunters and the folks who camp and collect mushrooms and go to the forest for spiritual renewal. I mean, from every perspective, we treasure our public lands. The idea of selling them to hedge funds and Elon Musk to finance tax breaks for Elon Musk and his billionaire friends, terrible, terrible idea. So I worked to get it kicked out of the bill through what's called, it's a policy review, but it's referred to affectionately as the bird bath after Robert Byrd of West Virginia. And that he had a legislation that said you can't have policy bills inserted inside of a reconciliation spending bill. And so we did get it kicked out, but I understand Senator Lee of Utah is coming back with another version of it. And I'm going to fight to get that version kicked out as well.
All right, Senator, we have about a minute left. Is there anything else you'd like our viewers to know about?
This is a really important time in terms of our basic architecture of our republic. Separation of powers, checks and balances is in trouble. So please be off the couch, make your voice heard, do it through letters, do it through phone calls, do it through joining protests. Certainly join affinity groups with people who share your particular point of view, because angry and frustrated alone is to be depressed. But to be angry and frustrated and organized with others is to be energized and effective. And we need citizens to call out that we must save our We the People republic.
All right, Senator Merkley, thanks for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Joe, and take care.
All right, stay with us. We'll be right back with more local news.